Sort of extra late for to see this live, but I really enjoyed it on the YouTubes. Oh, thank you, Dead Horse.
Thank you, Dead Horse.
No, it's good,
Hope
mate.
you will enjoy it.
That's it, buddy. That's
All
it.
right.
All right, so we'll go to the shared screen now.
Absolutely.
All
Let's do
right.
this.
So 13.9. We've got a few topics to go over. I'll just go over briefly on the main topics we'll be talking about tonight, which is obviously all of them. So we got Mode Shuffle, the new event pass, Red October, the Battle for Laet Golf, the expedition to North Pole continues. Early access to Pan American battleships is ongoing. Brawls, new armory, and content edition changes as well. Just additions and changes, I should say. So why don't we start with Mode Shuffle? We were literally just discussing this just right before we started. And looks like they brought back one of the maps that... I don't know if we both enjoyed or not. Is it the Epicenter?
Um, I didn't enjoy it, but I can understand why it should be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's good to see it back in a form. Because it didn't need to be deleted from the game. I think it just didn't need to be in random battles.
Correct,
And I
correct.
think that's the key thing here. This new mode shuffle recognizes that there are modes of the game that people could play that we don't
Powder.
necessarily belong with the other modes
Correct.
that we have, the random battles. And so this brings it more in line with a lot of other games where you have different styles of games that you can choose to play,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of expands on brawls. Um, Now, it is a little bit more restricted than randoms because it is only tier 8 to 10
Correct. It is correct. Yep.
ships that can be done. However, there's some really cool stuff in the ship type restrictions, which I
Mm-hmm.
think should come into random battles. For example, one aircraft carrier. You will never see two aircraft carriers in mode shuffle, which I think should be in randoms, because one aircraft carrier is enough for 12v12.
Oh,
Although with all
most
the
definitely.
hybrids today,
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second. So if you guys are looking at the obviously if it's on Ozzo's or even mine as well, I've actually fast forwarded to that part where what we're talking about is the Epicenter map. So it is the ones with the round circles. Everyone's played this before, 100%. So yeah. It's one of those maps where you obviously got to take the outer circle, the middle circle, and then obviously the fast inner circle, which most of the DDs go into straight away, and then obviously the cruisers go behind them. So this is the map we're talking about that they're bringing back into mode shuffle. And also that's what Ozzo was saying as well. So with the mode shuffle, 12v12, it's from tier 8 to tier 10, all ship types, divisions of up to 3 players. Which I disagree with. I reckon we should be able to bring more players than 3 as a division. But anyway,
I think so too.
ship type restriction. So 1 aircraft carrier, up to 6 battleships, up to 7 cruisers, 4 destroyers, and 1 submarine.
So there's definitely some good limitations in here, making it a little bit more even, and probably some of the, as I said, some of these ship type restrictions should be actually in random battles as well,
Mhm.
in my opinion. But you can enjoy it in mode shuffle if you want.
That's correct. That is correct. Obviously, with mode shuffle, you do get airship escort as well, which remains unchanged, and there's a few other things in there as well at the same time. So we'll have this link in the chat, which I'll put into it now, so you guys can actually see exactly what we're seeing. This is directly from the World of Warships website. Okay, moving on. The event pass. It's called Unity, Justice, and Freedom. What are your thoughts on this, Oz?
Um, I mean, it's your standard event pass. You get stuff in it. Whether the second line in the event path is worth it depends on who you are. Obviously, to unlock the second line is your standard 2,500 doubloons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this second progression, you can get the Schönborg. So you can get a ship in the second progression. So you have to decide for yourself, is a tier 6 destroyer, premium destroyer,
Worth it.
worth paying 2,500 doubloons to get? And that's really what I think is going to be your decision. There are obviously some other things in the second line of the progression as well,
Mm.
but that's probably the main thing and the main decider that people will take. I mean, yeah, it'll probably steel and coal and economic bonuses, which some people would like as well. But if you really want the Schoenberg, then I'd say get the second line.
So it is going to be German themed on this one as well. So
Yes.
yeah, you guys will if you're in love with the German tech tree as I am. I don't know if you guys many guys see me playing. Mostly 9 out of 10, it will be a German ship that I'm playing with. So for me, most definitely, I'll be looking at well, yeah, definitely looking at maybe getting it. I'm not a DD player, so for me, it's not really a major thing. But the ship that we'll be looking further on, further down the track here, is one ship that I'll be definitely looking at getting. Looks very interesting. I don't think Ozzo likes it much though because it's a hybrid, being a hybrid ship. He's not a hybrid fan.
Well, I mean, I can understand why hybrids should be in the game, but I don't think they belong in the classes that they are in, is where I sit with hybrids.
Yeah.
I think they need to be their own class. And but then this also goes down to matchmaking as well. Matchmaking should be matching ships that are more alike. And we shouldn't be seeing on one side three IP Ranger and the
Hmm.
other side having three Vermonts or something. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I
it should
understand.
it should be even. It shouldn't be, yeah. I mean that's not a good example because of Vermont's tier 10 and IP Ranger is tier 8, but
Oh no,
the
but I
point the
understand what you're saying because it's happened so many
yeah,
times. Like we've seen it where even on our side, if we're playing randoms, we'll have, as an example, 3 IP Rangers, and then on the other side there'll be 1 IP Ranger, and then there'll be 2 other even lower
yep,
class ships or even lower tier
yep.
ships, which they could
Yeah,
have obviously worked something out with that.
or your side gets like 3 Kersages and the other
Yeah.
side gets 3 Iowas, and it's like they're not even. They're not even. It's
Yeah.
just like no. But I think that's a whole different other situation. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So they've also brought out the Red October. So
yes,
13.9 brings the bounty hunt. So I don't know if you guys remember the bounty hunt. So you had to pay for it was 100,000 credits. I think the first 3 is for free, and then you have to pay 100,000 credits for each one. Now I don't know how many players have actually identified this actual event where you've had this symbol like a little crosshair compared onto the other ship. Is that ship you had to physically destroy, or don't get destroyed, one or the other. So if you did destroy one of these ships that had the crosshair on it, you will get special tokens. So on this one here, you'll be called the red tokens. Obviously, the Red October, it is mainly for the Russian. It is Russian tier line, and it's made for the S189 submarine. Now, I don't know if you guys have actually watched Hunt for the Red October. This is obviously not the submarine, but particularly this is really what it's mainly about. And what will happen is every time you destroy a bounty ship or you get destroyed or so forth, you'll get red tokens, and then after those tokens, you'll be able to purchase pretty much. So you can spend your red tokens on a variety of rewards, including a Soviet-era containers, which can drop the new Soviet cruiser, which is the Kosmin, which is this one right here. I'm not a fan of the Russian, how the Russian cruisers look. You know what? Even though they are, they're not as old, but they look old. Does that make sense? Like they didn't really change the
yes,
way they looked. Does that make sense? Like they weren't period at all. For their time. So you get the Russian Cosmin, and then the first 10 players will get the Serbian submarine for 5,000 steel if they're ready. If it's ready in your fleets. So during the week, here you go. Sorry, I'll go back again. During the first week of the event, we'll be tracking progress on the leaderboard. Sink as many bounties as possible to claim your valuable rewards. So the first 10 players will get the submarine, the Tier 8 S189. If you already own that, you'll get 5,000 steel in its place. Places from 11 to 25, you'll get 3 Soviet era premium containers, and places from 26 to 50 will get 1,000 steel. So Wargaming will be looking at the first week, and people with the most bounty kills, the first 10 players on that server will get an S189, which is pretty good. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I've been very vocal about the bounty stuff in the past. I understand the concept that is trying to be brought in here. I just don't like that what it does to the to the gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's having somebody who literally has a bounty on their head means two things. One, you get those players who have bounties on their head that don't play aggressively because they don't want to get killed. They sit behind islands. They run to the back of the map.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is you get your players who will focus the bounty player rather than giving a shit about everything else in the game. So you're basically putting yourself in a position where people stop playing the game mode for the game mode and playing the game for the bounty. Yeah. And to me, that sucks, especially, again, matchmaking. Because what happens when you end up with one team with 3 people with a bounty on their head and the other one with no one?
Yeah.
Do you end up with uneven gameplay
look, they
styles?
may fix that. They may fix that.
They may have fixed
if
it.
If it's 2 or 3 or 4 players within the mix of the obviously going into a battle, you would hope that Wargaming will separate them out. Which they are going to fix up. They're going to fix one thing. So they if they fix that, they may fix the one we're going to be talking about later on.
They might. I guess from my perspective, I would prefer to see it that the bounty is less obvious or less visible, at least at the beginning of the battle. Not having the bounty clear. Maybe they need to be down to 10% health, and then the bounty appears on them. So that you're not having people focus on them right from the beginning, and those people aren't having to play as though they're clear right from the beginning. And that way, yes, I know it makes it harder then for people to deliberately try and win this submarine, but it also means that people aren't going out into battles deliberately to win this submarine and only target the bounty players and not giving a damn about anything else.
I understand.
So, yeah, I guess that's where I sit with it. I think I can understand the logic of doing it. I just think it needs some tweaking to make it so that it actually doesn't destroy gameplay.
Fair enough. On me personally, I don't mind it. It doesn't worry me, bounty or not. Yes, we have seen players, and this was probably earlier when Oz and I actually started playing together. We saw a lot of there was a bounty event back then. I can't remember which one it was, and we did see a lot of this at this stage, and it came to a point where as soon as we seen one of those ships, it was straight to the back of the map. Like they weren't even part of the game. It was like we were just carrying them, you know. So it was annoying, but end of the day, for me, it really didn't bother me. And look, and be honest, both of us, if we did see a bounty ship, we did headhunt it. We tag teamed on that ship.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, that's my point, because it may not be the right ship to be shooting at that point in time in the game. Yeah. And you do then focus on it. So now the DD has free reign, or the something else has free reign, because you're not hitting it, and that's what I don't want to see happening. Like there are other ways. There are either other ways to do this, or ways that you can make it so that it's not impacting gameplay from the very beginning of the game, because people will go, where's this bounty player, and drive straight to that side of the map to try and get the bounty player. And that's the big worry for me. I would much rather have people play the game, and if they get the bounty, they get the bounty. Then people target. It's just an annoyance, I guess, a grievance that a grievance that not everyone is necessarily all focused on I
Hmm.
have to do this mission. There are people who are there to try and play the best game that they can
Yeah.
when they're in the game. And if they get the bounty, they get the bounty.
Hmm.
And if the bounty happens to be available for them, yes, shoot at them. But the problem is that
Don't go
it
overboard with
does
it.
encourage other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Bounty should be hidden and you don't know until after the battle, I think. Yeah, well, I'm happy. I'm happy for it to show up at when they're like at 5 or 10% health or something,
Yeah, that's
because
a
at
good
that
idea.
point, then, basically the people who are in that area are probably the only ones who are going to get a
Mm.
chance to shoot at it, and that probably doesn't detract too much from it.
Mm.
But yeah, I think from the very get go, if you have them visible from the get go, everybody's looking, or not everybody, but like
You
there
know,
are a
there's
lot of
there,
players who
but
are
yeah, you
looking.
can tell.
Yeah,
Like, and
they're
it actually turns the map as well. You know, if the bounty's on the other side of the map, you see a lot of ships turning towards that side. Just it's obviously the
exactly.
headhunter. Then we got here. It's going to dilute the game for sure. Look, it may and it may not. Make the bounty value slowly increase in percentage. Well, that's another way around it as
Yep.
well. That's one
The
thing we
long.
can look at it.
Yep. No, there's. Yeah, I mean, I think there's ways they can do it better.
Hmm.
And obviously, as we're seeing now, there are different ideas about how it could be done better.
Yeah,
Um, I don't have a problem with them doing stuff like this and having events and having fun things that people can do. I just would like them to not detract from the actual gameplay of the game, or have it that the bounty isn't in the random mode or something.
correct,
That you
correct.
have to be in a different mode. So if you wanted to play with bounties,
Hmm.
you have to choose to play with bounties rather than introducing it into the standard game modes. And that's the whole same concept with why people wanted Epicenter out, why we don't want the other modes that are in mode shuffle in
Mm.
random battles. You want to have a battle mode which is a standard battle mode, which is the same and consistent, and all these other little fun things can
Correct,
be in something else, or have them in a way that they don't impact that mode.
correct. That's
Um,
correct.
so, and I think that helps you with your game and people enjoying it more because then you've got that consistency.
No, you're right. Exactly right. Exactly. All right. So next topic, the Battle of Liet Gulf. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but I'm hopefully saying it right at the same time. All right. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the biggest naval battle of World War II. In memory of the Battle of Liet Gulf, we're prepared an adventure inspired for the decisive encounter between the Allied and Japanese fleets. So this event starts on October 9th and ends on November 27th. Follow the key points of the battle to complete the missions and earn numerous awards, including the Battle of Liet Gulf containers and Liet tokens. You can exchange the latter for sequential bundles that hold containers guaranteeing a drop from Tier 6 to Tier 9 premium ships, as well as I shall return permanent camouflage for the Tennessee US Tier 8 battleship. The Ghost Pacific permanent camouflage for the USS Enterprise, US Enterprise. 10 skill battle points, commanders, and other rewards. So the final reward for completing the adventure of legendary of US battle adventure in is legendary US battleship Tennessee. So once you've completed the complete adventure and you've pretty much done it all, you'll receive it for free, which is this battleship here. I have never seen this ship before. I don't know. Have you seen it at all?
I have not seen the Tennessee before. I have a feeling that it is not available at the moment. Previously.
Not to us anyway.
So no, no. But I definitely haven't got it on any of my servers.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is when we look here, we can see the information about the Enterprise, but we can't see any information about the Tennessee.
That's correct. Yeah,
Um,
that's correct.
So I'm not 100% sure about what a lot about it. But it would definitely be good to have that chip. It sounds good that you can get it. Basically, it sounds for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to guess some people will speed boost through it, which means they won't get it for free. But yeah. But yeah, no, it sounds like good. A nice way to get a free ship, and it has a reasonable amount of time to do it.
Yeah, you got
Between October 9 and November 27.
that's more than a month and a
Um,
bit. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, which is really handy for people like myself who, for October, I am going to be a very low amount of playing in the game because I've got stuff on in my life. So it means I still have a chance to actually do this and
Yeah,
get it done.
yeah,
And we're going to be talking about other things in the future in shortly, which you need to make sure you get done as well. So
exactly right. Exactly right. All right. So the expedition to the North Pole continues.
and here we are.
And here we are. All right. I'll leave you on this one because I'll be honest, I really haven't had much to do with this yet. So it's going to finish on the 1st of December.
Yes.
I don't think I've even, to be honest, I'm aware of that I've actually even started this or how I started this thing because I don't look at the mission maps or anything like that at all. So I'm pretty sure Tennessee has been in testing under the name Volunteer State. Oh, is that the ship? I've seen that one then, Grant.
I don't think I've seen that
No,
one.
I
but,
have seen that one. Sorry.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
It
So,
does. Yeah.
yep.
All right.
So it is a new ship then.
Definitely.
But I don't know enough information about it, unfortunately. Um, well, I mean, let's talk about the North Pole though.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody has done the previous iteration of the North Pole.
The first
Now,
mission.
obviously,
Yeah.
if you're on NA and you haven't done it, I think your time is done. You've
Mm-hmm.
missed the first one because basically with this you need to do all the missions in each month, and you've got a month to do them.
Yeah.
Um, and the next ones will go until November. You've got
Mm-hmm.
so that'll start today. It'll go to the next patch day, and then the next one will go from that until the
Till
following patch
December
day,
1st.
or December. Is it December 1st?
It ends
Okay.
December 1st. Yeah.
But then there is, I believe, on around that period, there is one mission that you have to have a limited time to do, and I think it's a day or two to do one of the
Oh, I remember
missions.
that one. Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
That was in the
So,
previous patch notes. Yeah.
yeah. So this is continuing.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you do the missions because if you do the missions, basically what you're doing is making it so that you can get a number of free ships, basically.
At the end. So
Now
the least you
at the end,
the
yep,
least you do, the least ships you're going to get at the end. But the more you do, the more
yep.
ships you're going to get at the end. All right.
Yeah, and we can show this in game afterwards because you can actually open up the expedition and see
Correct.
what
Yeah.
the prizes are you get. But basically, the more of these points you earn, the the better the reward gets.
Yeah.
And you literally have 1 month to do each of these stages, 3 months worth of that, and then one more mission to do as well at the end.
Correct.
So yeah. Um,
All right. So if you guys haven't done that, yeah, if you look on your mission stats there, you'll be able to see what you have completed. If you haven't completed much for the first mission, that one's finished now. So you'll be up to your second mission after tonight. Our update comes later on, isn't it? Yeah, it does.
yeah, so NA is currently being deployed.
Yeah.
Asia will be being deployed next, and then EU will be deployed after that. So you still have time on Asia and EU to get the first one done. And it wasn't difficult. It really wasn't difficult.
Yeah.
I think I had it done in like 2 or 3 days on all servers. Like I literally got it done on EU, and I don't really hop on EU much.
Yeah.
So it's worthwhile doing. Now, if you have all the ships, you do get I can't remember if it's credits or I can't remember what it was. You get something else instead. If you have all the ships that are
I'm pretty sure it
possible.
was credits. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in March.
But it's a lot of
I think,
credits.
yeah, no. I don't think it was a lot. I think we're
wasn't?
complaining about this last month. We're complaining about
I
it.
can't remember.
But anyway, it's all right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't have all these ships on at least two of my servers, so it
it'll be
doesn't
the same
matter.
for me as well. Exactly right. Exactly right. All right. So
And it's quick and easy to do anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not painful.
yeah. All right. So early access to Pan American battleships is ongoing. It ends on the 30th of October. So you still can obtain the sequential bundles in exchange for Pan American tokens. The bundles hold battleships, the Los Andes, The permanent camouflage for the Los Angeles as well, and also the Libertad, and obviously the
Yes,
bundle for
but
Libertad as well for doubloons.
the tier you can no longer get the tier 8
Hyperinga.
because it was in the event, the IP ringer,
Yep.
because it was in the event,
Mm-hmm.
which is now well, if you're on NA you can't anymore. If you're on AG you still have like 4 hours or something
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
to finish the event. If you're on EU, you have about 10 hours or
Mm-hmm.
12 hours or something to
Yeah.
finish it off. Um, and otherwise, you'll have to wait till it comes out of early access to be able to get the IP ringer.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the Los Andes and the Libertad, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean those ones cost doubloons to get.
Yeah.
So at least if you got the IP ringer, then you don't. Then you'll be out. You'll be one ship up the line, and then these ships when they come out of early access will just be tech tree ships. So
Well,
you'll just be able to get them. So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say next. So the Pan American Battleships line will become available for all players in research and release on update 13.10. So if you haven't got it, they are going to be released on 13.10
yes,
as a tech tree.
yep.
We are cutting short for time, so we'll continue on. Brawls. So with Brawls, you've got 3v3, tier 10 ships, no more than 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 1 submarine, and 1 aircraft, and a maximum of 3 divisions of 3. And then you've got, where is it here?
That's the first one.
Yeah, first one. And then you got Brawls 2. 3v3 with tier 9 cruisers, battleships, and destroyers. No more than 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers. So on Brawl 2, there is no carriers. And then Brawl 3 is tier 8 ships of all types. 3 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, 1 submarine, and 1 aircraft carrier. Hey, Kemo, how you going, buddy? Let me fix this one here. They're out tonight, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
All right. Sorry. Just modding my own channel. All right. So now let's head down to the armory. So it is obviously going to be based on, it's German themed, coming to 13.9. So the release of update 13.9, a new French cruiser, the Brennus. Well, how would you? I don't even know how would you even pronounce this. Will sail out in the virtual seas. She is available via the Research Bureau for 60,000 research points. The variant of the French cruiser Henri is post-war incarnation, and concept carries the name of the famous Gallic chieftain Brunus. So it's pretty much an Henri. It's a tier 10 Henri. The new cruiser features the powerful main guns of 305 guns, a relatively low number of guns is compensated for their fast reload time, good accuracy, and high AP penetration. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it'll be interesting because I mean, Henri is tier 10 anyway. But she's saying that she's based a variant of the Henri. Now it'll be interesting to see if she has the similar speed, because that's the big gimmick of the Henri is her speed. It sounds like she's going to have less guns than the Henri, but they're going to be heavier hitting, but also faster reload.
Yeah.
Faster reload for them. So it'll be very interesting. I mean, it's like most other variants. I guess we'll see when we actually see.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see from here, the survivability is at 71, artillery is at 90, airstrike 17, torpedoes at 31, AA defense is at 70, maneuverability at 56, and concealment at 37. So you can see her from pretty much everywhere on the map, which is concealment at 37. Must be
yes, and I don't think I'll be getting her any time soon because I got other things to get for research points. But definitely something that a cruiser player might be keen to try out, especially if they like the Henri or the French cruisers. So, all right.
So this is the one we were talking about before. This is the hybrid. So in celebration of the German Unity Day, we've prepared missions with the thematic rewards, as well as sequential bundles holding the German cruiser premium containers. These containers can drop new cruiser the Hildebrand. Hildebrand. As well as a permanent camouflage, economic bonuses, valuable resources. And if you don't get the Hildebrand from the containers, you'll find her at the end of the chain for a purchase of 1 credit. Now, this is a very heavy cruiser. It is a hybrid. It does have the following. So survivability is 82, aircraft is 72, which we'll explain that in a second. Artillery is 91, aircraft airstrike is 17, a defense is 83, maneuverability is 51, and concealment is 35. So it's even less than the Brennus. Now, what I've seen so far on this, it actually has 2 sets of planes. It is particularly got I'm pretty sure it's got dive bombers and it's got torpedo planes, I think, on this ship. I'll have to look into it more, but I'm pretty sure it is. It is very ugly. It's Camo 96 is very ugly, but she is going to be a beast of a ship. I tell you now. So let's just read what it actually says on here. So originally an O-class cruiser converted to functions as an aircraft carrier. The design resembles the German Atlantic cruiser carrier project development in 1942. In addition to 6 main battery guns concentrated at the hull and bow of the ship, received by powerful auxiliary armament, including 150mm secondary and 105mm dual-purpose guns. That is quite a ship. Quite a ship to have.
Yes, and as you said, rightfully, she has 2 air wings, torpedo bombers and dive bombers.
There you go. Yeah, I have seen a bit of this ship already, but when it came up on this update, I was pretty sure that it had two types of planes on it. So it's going to be a bit of a interesting one. I'll definitely be getting this, and I will smash that launch as quick as possible to get it as quick as possible. But I'll just to have as the best part on my side to see what it's actually like. I may not like it at all, but being German cruiser, the only thing I did spew about we were talking about it last week was it the Schroeder that I missed out on? There was one ship I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I was busy that month.
Schroeder.
Yeah, I was busy that month with work, and I didn't get a chance to play this game much, so I missed out on that ship, which I'm still spewing until today. So you can get this ship.
I think from that perspective, if you can do dockyards and get them done, done, because you may never see that ship again.
Yeah.
So far, apart from the Puerto Rico, no dockyard has been done twice, and the only reason the Puerto Rico was done twice was because it was the first one, and when it was first happening, people commenting on it was that it was very hard to get. So they redid it. And everybody was able to get the Puerto Rico.
Yep.
But I only have it on one server, so because I wasn't playing on the other system, so hopefully at some stage you can get them. Christmas containers. But we're yet to see what the Christmas containers are going to be like as well. And that is something that is something to be aware of, because the anniversary this year was
dismal. For us, anyway.
not as good as previous years. So I've heard rumors that the Christmas containers or the New Year tokens and stuff is not going to be as good. And so we'll have to wait and see. But you may not be getting as many ships as previous years. Yeah. So it may cost you a lot more if you want to get the ships. But we'll wait and see, because that obviously isn't coming out yet, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in probably 13.10. What? 0.11.
Yeah.
Probably. It'll probably be 13.11.
Oh, sorry, the Christmas one's coming out?
Yeah. So we'll probably
13.11, 13.12, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yep.
30.11, I reckon, yeah. All right, so content and addition changes. So polar ice cap permanent camouflage for the Kutuzov Nelson, creature and gold and cold permanent camouflage for the Anholt, creature of the deep permanent camouflage for the Ohio, which we have here. Look ridiculous, but anyway, I'm not a fan of camos. The US Commander King of Winter with an additional voiceover. German Commander Lady of the Cold with the additional voiceover. Captain's Club Anniversary Flag is also coming up. European So test ships coming up in release. So European Neroid, Tier 9, European Destroyer Kalmar. I can't see what they actually are. Japanese cruiser Yari, which is Tier 10. European battleship Logdonam, which is Tier 7. And the Pan-Asian battleship Tangxi, Tier 7. We've added for testing by developers, volunteers, and community contributors. And now we've got the other changes. So to the balance of, this is what we're talking about. So the balance of difficulty of operations for Tier 6 to Tier 8 ships, we've reduced the HP pools of enemy ships and damage they deal. We've fixed an issue with matchmaking, with Matchmaker, which sometimes resulted in one or two lower tier ships being placed in the battle with a superior number of higher tier ships. We have definitely seen this in this patch, where we've been in with tier 6 with tier 8s, and it was like not like 2 or 3 of them. It was literally just Oz and I in tier 6s or tier 7s, I should say. Yeah, it was ridiculous the way they done that.
Yeah. This is a good change as long as it's been delivered correctly.
That's correct. Yeah.
This will be a good fix to Matchmaker, because it for a long time when I first started playing, it was very rare to get double up tier games.
Yeah.
But as of late, it is such a common thing to happen. And the worst thing that happens with it is you end up in a match with like 2 or 3 tier 6 ships in a tier 8 battle.
Yeah.
And the number of times I've been in there and it'll be like 1 tier 7, 2 or 3 tier 6s, and everything else is tier 8. And it's like, this is stupid. And so this patch here, hopefully, will change that, and we will no longer see these double up tiers where you get way too many double up tiered ships.
Yeah.
It should be limited. So yeah, I'm hoping this will work well.
And fix
but
it.
we'll wait and see.
Exactly. All right. Updated textures on the following ships, which is Ladroit, Los Andes, Libertad, and Sevilla, as well as the Victoria. Fixed textures on Azure Line, permanent camouflage on the Chap. Fixed visual issue with sometimes occurred during the activation of a combat instructions when using Commander Joaquim Marquez Lisboa. Fixed a rare bug which sometimes caused the game client to crash when reporting or complimenting other players. I've never incurred that, but
Hey,
you're the report captain here.
I've never had my game crash for reporting someone. What's complimenting other players? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Fixed a rare issue which sometimes prevented players to start an operations while in full division. And for complete changes, please refer to the player support. All right, so this concludes all of 13.9. So as Ozzo just said before, they have got 13.9 being deployed in the NA server at the moment. Asia will get that later on at the night, as well as EU. So what we'll be doing now, guys, we are going to be converting over to clan battles because they actually started now, 12 seconds ago. So we're going to be in the BRI back screen, and we're going to get all the boys together, and hopefully we'll get clan battles all up and running. So if you're going to give us, say 2 or 3 minutes, that should be enough, Ozzy.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys in about 2 or 3 minutes.
All right. Thanks for watching Ship Talk. This we'll let you guys know throughout the next couple of weeks when we'll be doing it again. Ozzy is going to be very busy coming into October, so we might have to go straight to 13.10 at this stage. But we'll let you guys know in between that time. We might do it on a weekend if he's free or someone else is free from that side.
But we are also working on hopefully having our first interview maybe in November with a streamer. So we'll let you guys know on that as well. We may be having a very special guest.
We definitely will be. That's in the mix at the moment as well. So guys, give us a couple of minutes. We'll get the game booted up. We'll be swapping Discords over, and we'll be jumping straight into Asia Clan Battle. So thanks once again for watching, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
See you guys in a little bit, guys.